we've been able to really learn from the past, and we've been able to now to give even better fertilizer than we are talking about. Other than this Crook by the name Allan Namu, who I understood that from nowhere, right? Because we know him. That's why I've never responded to him, because he's a character that does not just look at things in the right perspective. We've not had any complications or any much complaints from the farmer. And I would want to ask the farmers to completely ignore those kind of bad stories, because they have tested the fertilizer that we have given them. You will find that farmers appreciate the fertilizer that we have given them. The meeting that you've just had here is a meeting that we are coming together, the national government and the county governments, in trying to come with a framework and strategy of mobilizing farmers to go to the farms, and especially in this rainy season, to be able to plant sunflower. You are aware, and everybody knows, that Kenya imports more than 500 billion worth of food items over the years. And as a country, and within the better plan, our key priorities is to be able to reduce the level of imports, to be able to increase exports, to be able to grow the economy and stabilize our Kenyan shilling. And because edible oils is one of the food items that runs a budget of beyond 150 billion, we said no, we will not allow this to happen, because Kenya can grow enough oil crops that can be able to give us the required oil that we import from outside the country. So towards addressing that gap, that's why it's necessary for us here, understanding the nature of our, the structure of our constitution and the level of involvement of the counties, and culture being involved, we realize you must work together to mobilize our farmers to really start growing sunflower. Sunflower is one of the sources of the oils, edible oils that we want to do. The other one, you know, is canola, coconut, and the greatest producer of the oil we require is the palm oil. But palm oil takes a longer time. So in terms of trying to address this problem within the very short term, that's why we are starting with sunflower. So we are distributing over 500 metric tons of sunflower in the country through our county systems to really get this sent to our farmers. So we have agreed, we have put in a framework. We have, from next week Thursday, sunflower will be with the farmers. Actually, for now, we are testing this program in 34 counties in the country, because those 34 counties have that great potential of growing or producing enough that can at least be able to reduce our import on edible oil. So generally, that is what we are doing here. But we are only saying that we really need to take advantage of the goodwill that the farmers have right now because of the support that the government is really giving. The sunflower seed is free, it's not being sold. It's part of what the government is supporting farmers with in terms of inputs, just like the government has continually subsidized on fertilizer. So the next phase is that, because this is also has been a very rare scene to find, we are in the stage of trying to multiply this seed as well, so that in those other next seasons we'll have enough seed for our country. So thereafter we are done with this, we also be getting to the next phase of trying to ensure that our farmers are also mobilized to grow for the long-term need of addressing or ensuring that there is a sustained program to make sure that the import of edible oil is completely reduced to a level that we would want to see Kenya being able to sustain itself in terms of the oil that we require. And that is the next phase. We are going to ensure that we support our farmers by planting palm oil. Palm oil, I think we have 1 million acres in the country that palm oil can be able to do very well. So the strategies that we have are short term, is what we are doing today. In the long term, and what we are discussing now is how to be able now to ensure that there is enough palm, we can grow enough palm oil, and through our data system, the number of farmers registered in this country, we also want to take advantage of those numbers to be clear which farmers we assign what responsibility to do what, because we must leverage now on data which we already have, so that we are able to address those gaps that we have within our food systems. We indeed formulate crop-specific fertilizers that we use and assure our farmers will be able to get better yields by application of that farm. By the passage of time, we've been proved right. So this time round, we even expect to do better in terms of yields, because we've been able to really learn from the past, and we've been able to now to give even better fertilizer than we are talking about. Other than this Crook by the name Allan Namu, who I understood that from nowhere, right? Because we know him. That's why I've never responded to him, because he's a character that does not just look at things in the right perspective. We've not had any complications or any much complaints from the farmer. And I would want to ask the farmers to completely ignore those kind of bad stories, because they have tested the fertilizer that we have given them. You will find that farmers appreciate the fertilizer that we have given them. Kenya, as a standardization mark for or no institution that checks on standards, I have not received any formal complaint other than what we read from the media of anyone complaining of use of that fertilizer that is alleged to not be of any quality. Kenyan Bureau of Standards has not given me any letter or complaint of any supplier within the subsidy program that is supplying fertilizer that does not meet the required standard. So I do not want to deal with speculation, because I can only be a responsible member of government when I'm dealing with the facts that are verifiable. So I would want to ask the farmers to ignore all that story that is out there, and because the government agencies are on high alert, if there is anybody trying to mislead or to get anything that resembles fertilizer in the market, then that person will be dealt with within the provisions of the law. And that one will be a criminal, and that person trying to do it, in my view, is worse, or will be dealt with just like we are dealing with any other bandits, because food security issue of this country is something that we cannot wish away, is something that we cannot accept any unscrupulous trader to really derail our programs towards making Kenya food and nutritional secure. Fertilizer is already being distributed in the country. So people are planting. Fertilizer is in our depots. We are going to distribute 12.5 million bags of fertilizer this particular year. So I think, and you know, you are hearing that some bit of noise once in a while here and there, and which I appreciate and I'm happy about, because you know the demand for fertilizer right now has really risen. It has risen because we have increased the acreage of the acreage by over 200,000 hectares. So, and that was really that's very exponential growth, and the supplier, some of the suppliers of our fertilizer somehow have let us down because of issues beyond their control. It used to take a long shorter for those people that are bringing in fertilizer through the Suez Canal, but because of the issues that have to do with issues of security, the ships now have to go to all the way to South Africa through Cape Verde and the others. So that waste of a week or two has really is one that has really brought about this pressure. But I am sure the largest consignments will be here by 5th of April, so it's not really far away. We have put in systems in place, immediately the ship docks, then the embarking and the distribution will be seamless, because we really cannot afford to delay our farmers. But whatever we have been able to mobilize from the local market and the support we are also getting from our company from Tanzania, bringing in fertilizer, has really gone a long way in trying to ensure that there is fertilizer for planting. And I'm sure the next phase where we will be top dressing, there wouldn't be any problem at all. But everything is under control. We are doing our best to address the concerns of our farmers, because it's our responsibility, and that's the best thing we need to do to ensure they are okay. Asante.
I'm Dr. Menjo, Food Security Advisor in the Office of the President. I'm here to support the CS on this activity of fertilizer, engaging the counties and working with them towards achieving this agenda of reducing imports of edible oil. I think the CS has clearly indicated the laws we are making as a country. We are spending about 150 billion shillings just to import edible oil. The issue that we had when we started this project was the seed. We found out we didn't have seed. Kenya seed had only 70 tons, and that 70 tons could only do about 25,000 acres. And if we are to rely on sunflower alone, we need about 5 million acres, because we are importing 1 million metric tons. And each acre produces about 200 liters. So we would need that amount. So, but to start off, when we didn't get enough seed, then that's why we went to Zambia and imported 500 tons. But on the 70 tons that were available from Kenya seed, we've multiplied it. We gave some to farmers in Uasin Gishu and Trans Nzoia to multiply, and we are currently buying it back through NCPB. So that process is going on. We believe that that 70 tons plus 30 tons that was given to ADC to multiply will give us about 7 million kilograms of seed, which can plant for us 2 million acres of sunflower for the short rains. That is starting October. Let's seed. Then phase 2 in October, because sunflower, we are using the same land that we are using for maize. So as maize is coming down, we plant sunflower as a second crop. And because we have 7 million acres of maize, we can actually get 2 million for starters. But ultimately, we want to do 5 million acres on maize as a second crop to maize. And therefore, we'll have enough seed for the October, for the short rains for sunflower to do 2 million acres. And next year, we'll also have produced enough seed to actually do the 5 million acres, and that will enable us to stop importation of edible oil as a country. By next year, we'll have reduced by 50%, but long term, we'll want to stop importing and be a net exporter. That's the agenda, but that will be by 2027.
Next year, when exactly?